Earlier about is it Jordan Peterson? He's releasing a new book.
Yeah.
It's interesting because he had his own kind of, I believe he had his own kind of personal problems going on. I think he was getting a bit of a dependence on the drugs. Did he prescribe himself the drugs?
No. So what happened was
because his wife was getting cancer, right?
Yeah, his wife had cancer, and then he had a case of pneumonia.
Okay.
Like really strong, and he was on very, very, very heavy opioids.
Yeah, like pain, for pain, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And his wife also had pancreatic cancer. And so he was on heavy anti-anxiety medication and antidepressants, and he was on all these like really strong opioids, and it was just this cocktail of drugs, and the poor guy absolutely destroyed him. And his daughter was on it as well. His daughter was prescribed the medication, and they went on to a podcast and they talked about it, and they just physically could not move or do anything for a while. The whole family was incredibly sick. And it left Jordan Peterson. He actually has some tremors as well from it. He's had like legit physical problems from it. This new book that he's got coming out called Beyond Order and Chaos, Another 12 Rules for Life, which I'll just get up right now. And what he's done is, first of all, I am Jordan Peterson. I will listen to that man talk any day of the week. Now, the reason being is because he's just, look, say what you like about politics, but he is a very, very sensible figure to follow.
He's a very reasonable man, and he's very logical. So if he has an argument and perhaps maybe a controversial opinion, he can actually break down point by point why he's made that opinion. And then even if you don't agree with it, he's actually explained his logical reasoning why he personally believes that. And then you can actually, it's not just like a blatant, complicated answer. He's actually explained it. And he kind of, if anyone tries to argue against him quite aggressively, then he's able to quite logically break down their argument and therefore beat them in that argument.
Exactly. And not even that, but the way that the rules that he projects, like, for example, life is a massive enigma that probably most people who are trying to figure out their time on this world trying to solve or trying to figure out who they are. And he just gives you a very blunt and very harsh depiction of reality, but at the end of the day, that's what makes it tough. And he's very, very popular amongst young men, especially our age, because it's a confusing time. It's a confusing time sometimes to be a man, regardless. You need what do I take this route or do I take this route? Am I supposed to be like this or am I supposed to be like this? And it's not just guidance to young men, but to young people in general who are sort of lost in life. Like, I'm just going to read a couple of his rules, and they're very, very sensible, and they actually help people to they actually allow people to gain some sort of meaning, or at least find some sort of meaning in life.
Before you start, this would be his second book?
His second book, So the first book he ever wrote was 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos. The second book is called Beyond Order, 12 More Rules for Life. This book has been 3 years in the making, and he had to push back a whole year because of his illness. So this is Rule 2, and this one I like a lot. It's called Imagine Who You Could Be and then single-mindedly aim at that. So that's the idea of visualizing what it is you want to do with this life or the person you could be, and then working towards that. And then he just and then it goes into more depth. Another one is Rule 3. Do not hide unwanted things in the fog. And the reason why I like that rule so much was it's the idea that I think it means if you have a situation or you have a problem, don't shy from it. You know what I mean? Like, learn to face it head on. You know what I mean? Or don't. If you've got a situation, don't consciously choose to ignore it. Find at least look at it objectively and then single-handedly find a way to combat it. Because it's a big thing is with today's situation is that we let things bother us, but we don't actually do anything about it. So I'm guessing that's probably one of the things that his rule means. But who knows? I mean, the book will be coming out in March, and
is it March this year or March
this year?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's got a release date. I think March 16th, which is the day of.
I believe you've got the previous book, don't you?
Yeah,
You've
I
read
do
it
have the
before.
previous
Is it
book.
good?
Oh, it's phenomenal, dude. Do you know how much of a fan I am? I paid $160 just to go listen to him for 2 hours in the Perth Convention Centre. It was sold out.
Was it good?
It was phenomenal. It was literally just 2 hours of just him just breaking down his book. He tried his best to break down the entire book in just 2 hours and just explain it in a way that's very simple to understand.
Which is very difficult when it's a big
It's
book.
very difficult. He tried. I think he got through about 5 or 6 rules, and then he had to stop.
Mm-hmm.
But he just got a standing ovation. You know, everyone was so respectful. Everyone was so polite. There was a lot of cheering. And yeah, just here's one more thing I got to point out about him. He does not say or anything.
No.
He's so
there's never any stuttering. He's always just straight to the point, and he always has very concise answers. Everything he speaks.
Yeah, he's very, very clear with his words.
Yeah. But forgive me, but is there was there? I mean, I just said then, and I'm a podcast host. But the thing is, around that time, there was a little bit of controversy. A lot of people were saying we're going to riot against him being there. It's not okay that Jordan Peterson is, mentioning these particular things that we don't like. I remember around that time when Jordan Peterson was coming to campuses and things like that, when it was, knowledge that he was going to be coming and having his own, not performance, but his own event at Perth, I remember that there was a little bit of resistance. I think a lot of people were not happy that he was here and expressing his views, and I think a lot of people were they were going to resist and riot against that. And I thought it was a bit weird because if you don't want to go, don't go.
And if you actually think he's wrong, go debate him. He openly allows people to debate
which
him.
was part of his rise to fame, was his logical reasoning of breaking down other people's poor arguments.
Very de-escalation. He's very good at de-escalating harsh verbal situations.
A lot of the time, people tend to come at him with a lot of angry energy, a lot of intense words, a lot of fighting words, to be honest.
But he deals with it so calmly.
He's very calm and not just calm, but stern. He's very stern person as well, and he kind of breaks it down and kind of just makes it a bit silly that you're throwing your emotions around when he's not really that invested in your opinion anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. But all I can guarantee, there was definitely no rioting there. He was very, very well received, and even said at the end of the tour, he said, "Thank you so much. Perth is absolutely lovely. I'll definitely be coming back here because the way you people have received me has probably been one of the nicest probably been one of the best welcomings I've ever had across the countries." And then he finished off with a joke, because we all know how some countries receive me, or some people receive me, and then the whole cloud just erupted.